Alright guys, I hope you all are with me. I had a little technical difficulty trying to get on tonight, so let me see. Okay, we got 13 folks here. I hope you all are with me. I had a... Alright, I'm following on my phone so I can see comments. Hey. Good to see you all. We're just getting set up. Let me call Vicky through our one-on-one. We're doing through free conference call. Go ahead and get her on here. Computer audio.
Welcome. This service is provided by freeconferencecall.com. There is one host and one participant in this conference. Please announce yourself.
This is Shannon. Hey Vicky, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, so I think I got it working. I think we're live on YouTube, guys. On YouTube, how are we doing? Are we lagging? Everything going through okay? Okay, so, and Vicky, let me know if you can see my screen because I just screen shared with you. All right, Rona says we're loud and clear. Now, Vicky, can you hear me right now? Let me chat with you real quick. Hey Vicky, I can't hear you, so what I may need you to do is call in on your phone to do the audio. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'll type this to you as well. I'll send you the details. So you can call in from your phone and use your computer so that you can see, and use your phone for the audio. That might work out better. Now, if you can't hear me, then that's a different story.
There is one host in this conference.
Hey Vicky, I just restarted my audio. Can you hear me now? Right, well, since I can't hear here, and I don't know if you can hear me, we're going to try to troubleshoot this, but in the meantime, in between time, I am so glad we have this to post. So, wait a minute, I think I hear something.
Vicky.
Vicky! So you can hear me now?
I don't. On the phone, yeah, the computer just went mute.
Yeah, there's something it does. I don't know if it's like a spy sensing program or something, but sometimes it'll do that, and you have to manually set it back. And sometimes it's just not good for doing audio on the computer. So you got it right.
Okay.
You got the phone call in. Yes. Okay, because I had a little backup video just in case. So we get to go ahead and get going. Yay! I'm so excited you figured that out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and prep for you. I'm going to bring in some of the images, and the audience tonight will get to see a lot of the images that we have are like smaller pictures, lower resolution images. So we're gonna have some workarounds to how we can work with those. So I'm gonna bring them all onto the artboard, and we're gonna see what we can do to lay it out and make it work. I'm even gonna bring our example shirt in here.
Okay.
Now, can you see my screen, or do I need to share it again?
No, I can see it.
Okay. Awesome.
I just see you added the picture of the shirt.
Okay, cool. And you see me bringing the photos in right now?
Yes.
Okay. And my condolences, too. He looks like such a handsome young man.
Thank you.
How old is the little one?
He's 13 now.
Oh, wow. So he's still, he's always going to be a baby, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So we need to make this shirt tough then. I'm thinking it's like a little toddler. No, we got to make it tough for him.
No.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So now I know my audience.
That picture of him on the cars when he was a baby.
Okay, so that's him on the car. That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's his dad's car.
Oh, so his dad was into cars?
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. And you know what I'm going to bring in, there is a template that I was playing with making available. I didn't want to show it yet because I already know how y'all keep me on my toes with these templates, but it has some like like a donk in there. It has like a classic car. It has a Mustang or a Camaro. I did a flyer for a car show, and I was like, oh, that'd be perfect if we can bring one of those in. I can even change the color of the car, so that'll be fun too.
Okay.
So I have that when I'm pulling this one up. Are any of these cars like cars that he would like? I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see. This was a concert.
Let my son pick it.
What's that?
I'm gonna let my son pick it.
Oh, okay, he's here?
Yeah, Herschel. Come here. Which one of these do you like to put on the shirt?
And any of these cars, Herschel, we could change the color of. You said Herschel's your name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can change. We can change the color of the car to match whatever you want.
Silver.
This crown. What is that? Is that a Maserati or something? I don't even know what it is. I'm as clueless with vehicles as I am with sports. But this one, the one that I'm turning off and on right now, is the one that you want?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull that in. If you change your mind, you let me know once we get the design going, okay?
Okay.
All right, love. Thank you. I appreciate the input.
You're welcome.
All right, so I just dragged that in from my other file.
Okay.
So we'll have that car. So he's in the car too. Then he picked the hot car.
Yeah. He into cars too.
That's so cool. But yeah, so we have to make this something that he's gonna be proud of. Oh yeah. So finally we get to do a Remembrance shirt with a little bit of fun into it, and still always gonna have that love in it. But yeah. I like this idea. So images, we have one. Let's see, definitely the baby picture, right? Now, does he know the baby picture's going on there?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how sometimes
these are pictures that he picked.
He picked them out. Oh. So is he with us? Like, is he watching tonight, or he's just kind of sitting back and?
No, he just left back out.
Okay. So say if you want to, you can get him on this. I don't know how interested he is in designing, but I sure put him. I put kids to work too.
Yeah, he actually is interested in doing this kind of stuff.
All right. So I have 3 main images. I thought I had 4. 1, 2, 3. I'm missing one. It's probably underneath another image. Yep. Let me make this one a little bit smaller so we can see what we're working with. Yep. Okay. Now already, we're going to do whatever we can do with these images because I do understand that, these are pictures that are going to have some challenges just because they're lower resolution, but we're going to work with them. Okay. So these, obviously, we're not going to be able to put on remove BG. And I was just talking about this feature earlier where you can either cut them out. And these aren't images that are just easy just to, clean cut out. It has a lot of things cut off. So one of the things that I do when I'm doing collages is that I use the brush tool and I just kind of wisp away at the edges and then kind of layer them and see what I need to take away. So let's do that first just so we can see what we have here. Let's start with the baby picture. And I'm going to grab the paintbrush tool here. Now, of course, I can't paint on the smart object. So what do we have to do to non-destructively get rid of some of this background? Do you know what that is called?
Well, is it layer mask?
Yes, you got it. It's a layer mask. Absolutely. Okay, now let me give you the ability.
But this is my hardest part right here.
The layer mask is the hardest part?
I can't do this. Yeah, because I can't figure out how to do the gradient.
Oh, baby, we're finna get into it tonight then. Okay, all right. Well, I love when y'all tell me something that you can't do, and then I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, you're finna prove it to you, because you're not proving it to me. You're going to prove it to yourself. You can do it. Let me go ahead, and I'm going to give you permission to drive my computer. Let me go ahead and allow control. And yes, it's going to prompt you on your end and ask you, do you want to take over my mouse? And just accept the challenge. Whether you're confident or not right now, just accept the challenge. I got you. I got you.
I think I did it, yeah.
Okay, now can you move my mouse around? Awesome. All right, so I'm going to set you up. And then I'll get it going and flowing for you. And then I'm going to turn you loose, okay? So first thing, I'm going to take the baby picture. I'm going to drag it up front so we don't have anything else blocking it. And this is a really simple way to mask right here. This is literally taking the paintbrush. I have a soft brush selected. So you see that soft round brush is selected. And when I'm on the artboard, well, first, go ahead and click on the layer mask to add a new layer mask. Oh, you know where it was. All right, perfect. And the white reveals, and what does the black do? Conceals. You got it. You've been watching. All right, so all we're going to do here is go ahead and just start from the edges out here. Now, this is, like I said, this is my little cheat way of doing it, where I'm not going to completely contour. And if this ends up being too hard for you to do from taking over my mouse, because there is a little lag because of the internet connection, then let me know and I'll do it for you. But I want you to at least try it and get a little confident with that. You see how I just did that? I didn't really cut out the background. I just faded it off a little bit. So I want you to do the same thing over here to the side of the picture and the bottom of the picture. And you have the mouse, so go.
Okay.
You got it.
I really don't want it to cut off that name right there.
Okay, well, let's do this. Go ahead. If you cut it off, I'll show you how to add it right back. That's the beauty of doing it non-destructive. So try to make your swipes clean, because what it's doing is it's like when you have that little dab glue and you dab it and it creates these little circles. You want a continuous kind of flowing motion there. Now, like I said, it might be you taking over the mouse and it's not letting you do it continuously. You need me to back up for a second? Is it letting you go?
Okay. It's kind of going and then
It's glitching. Okay. All right. Well, at least I know you know how to do this now. Okay. So now you're not scared. Let me back up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and do it quickly for you, and then I'm gonna show you how to add those letters back. All right. So we'll go back just a little bit. Zoom out. Now I'm gonna take it off, and I'm not gonna be scared. I'm just gonna go ahead, swipe it off, and then because I know that I didn't destroy this image, right? I can add it back. So what do I need to add it back? What color do I need as my foreground color?
Is it white?
Right. So if in this case I have black selected, I can just reverse my color. I have white selected. Now instead of a big old fuzzy brush, I might change my hardness of my brush. I'll bring that hardness up just a little bit, so it's still a little bit fuzzy. And then I'm going to reduce that size, and now I'm painting with white, so I'm still on my mask layer. I can bring it back.
Okay.
Without bringing that entire hard edge back. And if I do too much, I can come back with my soft brush and get it right on back. So, speaking of which, let me soften up that edge of that brush just a little bit more. So now I'm going from hardness to softness. And now I'm going to do black. And let's say I grabbed a little too much of that green. I can fade it off just a little bit. So we didn't get rid of the name. We just got rid of that hard edge where you could tell it was the edge of the picture, right? Okay, so that was done. Was that too hard?
No.
Okay. All right, so the next one, we're going to try a gradient. So you said you had issues with the gradient. So let's try gradient. This is the perfect one to try a gradient because you got plenty of room at the bottom, plenty of room at the top. So first thing first, go ahead and create your layer mask. Perfect. Let me zoom in just a little bit. Control plus. There we go. All right, so you have your layer mask. Black is selected as your forefront color. Go ahead and select the gradient from the toolbar on the left-hand side. There you go. Now, right now, I got a rainbow color selected. Go ahead and select that rainbow, and you want to go from the foreground to transparent. And go ahead and click on that. The first one is now this is the mistake people make while you're here. I'm glad you're doing this because most people choose the black to white. What you need is the foreground to transparent. Okay? And yeah, and that one will allow you to keep doing it over and over and over again and build on your gradient. Go ahead and choose that one. You got it? Now, I'm going to demonstrate for you, but I'm going to undo it as soon as I do it. All right, so I'm going to start. Oh, you already did it. Oh, you're trying to get ahead of me, huh?
That wasn't me.
Okay. It was just another glitch. It's okay. All right, so the idea here is that you want to start within the meat of the picture. And you'll hear me say inside meat and outside meat. It's just a way to kind of make you say something goofy so you remember it. So I want to start on the inside meat. And then I want to hold down my shift key and I'm going to drag it up. And what it does is it starts that gradient from within the image and then fades it up. So if you hold down that shift key, I'm going to undo it and I'm going to let you dry. So go ahead and try that. Come from within the image. And I think the image starts like there's like a zipper or a button or something right there. So yeah, because you don't want to start from within where that black is. Go ahead, right there.
Okay.
Click. Hold down shift and see how when you hold down shift.
Oh, you gotta hold down shift.
If you hold down shift, it'll straighten it out. That way you don't get an angle on it. See? Now can you tell me you don't know how to do the gradient layer mask? Okay. I was just checking. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the brush and let's go ahead. We're gonna do the soft round brush, and I'm gonna do this part for you just because of that skipping that occurs. What was I? I forgot. I have a background on here. I was like, where did that yellow come from? Yeah, it scared me for a second. I was like, I said non-destructive, but I'm over here tearing stuff up. Okay, so I'm just fading those edges off. You know how I feel about those little hard lines. We're gonna do our best not to see them. And this takes a lot less time than doing that click, click, clicking all the way around. But sometimes you need that. And same thing here. I just erased some of his hair, right? Just like when I did the letters. I'm not going to be afraid of that because I can always come back and add that particular part back. But what I'm trying to do is make sure I don't have too much background image in there. And as a matter of fact, I think, yeah, this image kind of ends straight, but it's okay because we'll put something there to kind of layer it. All right, so now I want to add back that part of the hair that I made transparent, right? So let me go back. I'm going to bring a hardness somewhat near the center, and I'm going to change my color. Instead of black, I'm changing my color to white, and I'm on my layer mask. And that's a pretty big brush, but if I hit it one time real good, it's changed to back to black. I want it white, and see I just added that hair back just then. So don't be afraid. If anything, be afraid to use the eraser. Don't be afraid to use a layer mask because you can always add to and subtract from your mask. So far, so good. We got 2 images cut out already, girl. 2 of them done. All right, so let's see. We got the larger picture here. I think this one will work. And I'm going to do something here. The photo kind of cuts off the top of his head, but I'm going to help you because if we're layering this and, you know, sometimes you have those things where it's cut off and it just looks awkward. Let's take this brush. We're going to go ahead and erase all of it, and then we'll take a brush and kind of make it look like that's the top of his head. That'll be something new. I don't think we've done that yet. So again, let's click on our image. Go ahead and create that layer mask for me. And I want you to do the gradient from the bottom up.
Okay.
You got it. You got it.
This is not the right one.
Yep, and you noticed that. Perfect. Now where do you start? There you go. Well, you'll see. Do what you just did. Go ahead. I'm going to show you something. See how I can see this faint line right here, the image? You won't know until you layer it on something. That's because you started from the outside meat. You want to start from the inside meat of the picture. So go ahead. Let me hit Control Z. I'm going to undo that. And this time start from the inside meat.
Okay. Is it doing anything? No.
And if it's not working for you, let me know. But I think you got it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
See the difference? So now you don't, and sometimes you'll be, when you start layering stuff, you'll be like, where is this line coming from? You won't know. And it's because of something like that. So same thing we can do that with the sides. As a matter of fact, if we were to come in and do a gradient from the side, we can start from the inside meat, bring it in from the side, bring it in from the top. And it just basically created a nice little glow around it. Now, if I wanted to, like I was telling you, I could kind of cheat a little bit, and I could grab my round brush, and I could use the white instead of the black because I want to add that back. I'm going to right click. I'm going to change the size of this brush to try to be almost the size of his head. Which is I don't know why this thing is so hard to go from like a 300 to a 3000. I don't get it. Let's try 900. Let's see. We got to guess the size of his head right now. So 900 is a little too small, but it's still round, so I can make it work. See what I just did? It's not really his head, but I just added a little shape back there. Right. So I think we're good on that one. This is already looking good. Look at you doing your thing. All right, so now this one is going to be a little bit harder, but no biggie. We're going to bring it to the forefront so we can see what we're working with. Do a little zoomage. And this one, okay, so this one I want you to fade up from the bottom. Go ahead and create your layer mask. And make sure you start within the inside meat. And also, remember I changed it to white as the foreground for the mask, so you're gonna have to flip that back. You flipped it. Good job. And the move tool selected right now. So what would you need to select? It's okay. It's linked, so it moved it together. There you go. And then what color is in the forefront right now? You got it. Switch it to black. And the reason why it shows you the no-go symbol right now is because you make sure that you're clicked onto the layer mask and not the smart object photo. Which this is smart, because if you bring in a photo as a smart object, it will not let you paint on top of it. That's the beauty of a smart object. So go over here to the right side and just click on the white part, the actual, that layer mask itself. And now come over to the picture and see if it'll let you do something. Yeah, that's it. You got it. All right, and then I will clean up the top there. Now, let me ask you this. Do you want this person in the background, or you would rather it just be him?
It could just be him.
All right, let's do that. And then I'm going to try my best to kind of make this hand disappear. All right, so let's bring down the size of the brush a little bit. Not a lot of bit, but a little bit. Okay. And then I have my hardness up, so let me turn the softness. We'll turn the hardness down so that it's a completely soft brush. And then I'm going to just come around it. Make sure I don't take his hand out of the photo. And like I said, we can add him back if we take out a little too much. Yeah, because I'm skipping over here a little bit, so I know it was probably skipping pretty bad on you. All right. Yeah, Photoshop, when you start getting into this kind of stuff, unfortunately, I think some of us are learning the hard way. I even have to upgrade some stuff on my computer because I'm doing a lot of templates and pushing this computer to the point where I know I have to tell it thank you at the end of the day because I've been pushing it a little bit. Let's see. So let's do white, and we're going to add back top of his hat a little bit. Uh-oh. Yeah, it just slipped on me just then. Let's do... And I'm going to move the whole photo to where I'm not on top of another photo just in case I'm misinterpreting. Yeah, that's what I need to see. Make sure that I'm not seeing another photo behind it. All right, let's see. Let's add some of that face back. So I'm going to grab my paintbrush. I'm going to bring the hardness up a little bit. And let's choose white is already selected. I'm going to bring down my brush size. When I right click on the canvas, I don't know if you know that. Do you know that's how you change your brush size real quick?
No, I didn't.
So if you're and I don't know if you can do shortcuts when you're taking over my computer, but if you right click, as soon as you right click, you're going to get these options for the brush. So that's anytime I'm changing the size of the brush, that's what I'm doing. I'm just right clicking.
Oh yeah, I can do it.
No, okay. I was wondering, I was like, are you doing it now? All right, so we're going to add that ear back a little bit, add some of the shoulder back. I think he has something in his hand right there. We'll add that back. And like I said, this is a very crude way of, kind of getting away with not having to be so clean with cutouts. But it works beautifully. One time I had to do an anniversary shirt at the flea market. And of course, I outdid myself. I merged almost 20 photos on, and they paid for them. They paid extra for me to cut that because I was trying to get, like 2-3 photos is the max. They were like, oh no, we'll pay you for it. I was like, dang, well, It's $5 per photo. And they gave me all those photos.
Exactly.
And this is what I did. I didn't even cut them all out. And I didn't know about Remove PG at the time, so I didn't even have that resource. So it worked out. And by the time I faded them all together and blended them, it looked like artwork to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had different pictures for the front, different pictures for the back, and I was like, oh no. Yeah. Alright, so here we're gonna just fade off the edge of that hand just a little bit. Now here, let's see what we can do about this hand is just popping up out of nowhere. There are a few things that we can do. We can use a clone tool. Let me see if the clone tool will even work on here. So I'm gonna start from here. I'm gonna hold down Alt, and that's gonna be my starting point. So I'm gonna start at a line, and this is also hard because it's a shirt that has lines on it. So when I start painting, I had to put and I need to do a new layer so that when I'm painting on a new layer. So again, I'm gonna come, hold down Alt, and then I'm gonna click where this line is. And then when I come up here, it's gonna start that line. So you see what it's doing? It's painting what I picked up from down here. Did you see that? So I'm going to turn mine off, and then I'm going to let you do it. Okay, so create a new layer. New layer is the one with the plus sign in the middle. Yep. Okay, perfect. Now you're on the clone stamp tool, so I want you to come down to like about where I came, one more line down, and hold down the Alt button, and you'll see it changes the symbol. If you hold down Alt, is it doing anything?
And I'm supposed to click too?
Yeah, see, I guess the shortcut's not working for you. So when I hold down Alt, but do you see the symbol changing when
you doing it?
Yeah, that's me doing it. But this is what's happening. I'm setting a target. I'm targeting that line right there. So I picked it. Now you paint it. Paint it up there over his hand. And what you want to do is kind of match up. There you go. Match up where a line already was. There you go. And don't be scared. You're on a whole new layer. You're not messing up. All right. This is awesomeness. Okay. So I would take that as is and say we're good on that. And see how even if I start at a different spot and I start painting somewhere else, it's going to continue the lines from the previous area. And that's the whole point of setting that area where we were starting from. So that's cool. Now what we'll do is we'll take this little piece here and we will rotate it. Let's see, is that one better? I think they're about the same. The one you did has a little more area to it, so we'll use that one. Control T is what I use to transform, and you won't be able to do Control T. As a matter of fact, let me escape, go to my move tool. I'm on this layer, so Control T is what I hit. That's the same as going to edit and free transform. You see that? So if you were doing shortcuts on your computer, you would do Control T. And I'm going to rotate this just a little bit. And then the next thing I'm going to do is make the opacity lower. So I'm going to bring it down just so I can see where his shoulder is supposed to be, right? So now I'm going to work my magic with the pen tool. Now I am going to show you the pen tool. I want you to play with it. I know my computer is going to lag a little bit, but what I'm doing is I'm picking a point and I'm pulling to create these curves, right? And what I'm doing is I'm going to select the outside meat, not the inside meat. And the reason why is because I'm going to make that a selection. Say okay, because 2 pixels is just a little light feathering. And then I'm going to delete away the pixels from there. Now I can select, deselect, turn this opacity back up, and see what I'm looking like. What we looking like? Better? All right. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the color off of this collar because the stripes don't go all the way up to the collar. And I could do that with a mask, so I can add a layer mask so I don't, just in case I delete a little too much. Make sure I have black selected. A little swipe right there. Let that color come back through. Okay. So that's all your pictures. Your pictures are ready.
Looks good.
All right. So now here's the hard part. Let's look at our example design. So, and then we'll look at our example design and then we'll turn it off because I don't want us to get so caught up in what somebody else did that we feel like it has to match exactly. So we're going to get these elements, see what's up with it, and then we'll turn it off. So it'll kind of be a cheat sheet, but not a full cheat. Okay. So what do we have in the foreground? You tell me.
Oh, this part is hard for me. I don't understand those. Like exactly what you mean.
Okay, so here are the terms. Foreground is what's in the forefront, what's popping out at you, right? Background is what's in the I guess the background. I can't think of another word for that right now. And then you have your text and accent elements. So that's why I always break down any design that you see. Pretty much can be broken down into those 4 elements. So foreground, what sticks out to you?
Would be the pictures in the car.
Right. So in this design, the car is almost just as substantial as the photos. So that will be your foreground. The car could also be considered like an accent, like, oh, you can have it, you don't have to have it, that sort of thing. What do we have going on the background?
I see the red, the blue. I think the blue is clouds, and then I see some lightning. But could the lightning be accents too?
Yeah, there's a little lightning as an accent. It could be part of the background. And then this looks like this abstract kind of design at the top. So it fades from an abstract design to the clouds. So red to blue, cool. And then what do we have going on for text there? What do you see? How can you describe that text?
Script in bold.
It's a script bold. Anything going on? Is it a flat color? Is it gradient color?
It's gradient. It looks like a couple strokes going on.
Yeah, girl, you got this. You know what you're talking about. Yes, it's definitely a couple strokes. Looks like a lighter stroke on the inside and the black stroke on the outside. And then you got some accents there of doves and a little bit of, I don't know if that's explosion, kind of like clouds and fireworks in the back or paint splash or something. But basically we get the idea, right? So I can turn it off and you remember your elements?
Yes.
Okay, and then we still have this little thumbnail down here to cheat too. So right now I have this grunge one because I've been dealing with a lot of grunge lately, trying to make that work. What color scheme do you think you want to go with for this? Because we can make all of these colors pretty neutral. I know this car is green where the baby is.
Yeah, I think you want to do black and lime green.
Black and lime green. Let's do it. So I'm going to take you to my gradient layer. And you're going to double click that gradient right there. And you're going to change those colors for me. And then go ahead. Select your gradient. And let's see, just out of curiosity, see if there's a gradient that already has some lime green in it. I don't know that that's a color. You can scroll and see too. I never check these gradients. I always make my own. And look, there's something with some lime green in it right there. And we can change it from there. Ooh, I like it already. Look at it. See, I'm telling you, we learn something together every time. All right, so now if you want to add some black in there,
we can just change the white. We just change this one. I think I know how to do this part.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, you know how to drive this part. Go ahead. Now I'll tell you this too. If you want a little bit of the gradient to show through, if you choose a gray instead of a black, instead of a true black, then the black from the grunge pattern will kind of come through a little bit more. So and that's just a tip, because sometimes black can be so black that it's that you don't see any effects on it. And that's,
I get what you're saying.
And here's another thing. Let me show you this. If you have your swatch and you drag it, then you can change how the stop affects the next color. Like, you can even drag it right next to it and it creates a stark contrast.
Yeah.
So you drag it further away, it makes it smoother.
Yeah.
Are you cool with this darker green down here at the bottom?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You got you. So, are you good with this? This ready to be our background?
Yeah.
Now, let me show you how to. Do you know how to add a color if you wanted to put an additional color in here? You got it. Just click, just like what you're about to do. Click right underneath it, right underneath that gradient. Yep, just click. And you just created a new style. So let's say you did want to add a little bit of white. You can take this one, maybe that one, and maybe you don't want white. Maybe you want like a lighter gray or something. And see how now all of a sudden that color pops up in there? And you can move it. You can even drag it. Let's say, I like the gray closer to the black. So you can drag it on this side. Or you can drag it on this side. Or if you already had it selected, I want you to do this. Click. So I want you to click the gray stop first, and then I want you to click between anywhere random between the black and the green, and I want you to see something.
Click it or hold it?
Just you already clicked it once, right? You already clicked the gray box. Okay. Then come down further on the color line and just click anywhere else. I don't care where it is. Click somewhere else. And see, it just made another one. It just copied that color stop, and now you can move that one. So move that one somewhere else random. Just somewhere not next to a gray. So take the gray and drag it somewhere else. Now I want you to see how you can skip colors. See how you just skipped that color? There you go. You just made your own gradient.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you want to go back to the gray, back to the black, green, and neon green and darker green, you could just delete those grays. Unless you want to keep some gray because the car is kind of silver.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I like it like that with the gray.
Okay, cool. So hit okay then, and we can always go back and change this. This is the beauty of pulling something together and then tweaking it later. I did that yesterday. I tweaked the graduation design from yesterday a little bit. I'll get to show that to y'all later on. Okay, so awesome. I'm loving it already. Okay, so now how you want to arrange the images. I would say the image that is that's clear, maybe this one here should be bigger because you can see more of it. Maybe this one. And of course, you see we got to clean up the top of that. And now we see like oh shoot, you know what I forgot to do? That's a good lesson. I need to link this and this. So, and I'm going to let you do it. I want you to select the shoulder piece that we colored in from the shirt and then hold down Control. And I don't know if your shortcut is going to work for you. Hold down Control and then select the image underneath it. Okay, so I guess the shortcut keys are working. So the Control shortcut just means that you can select multiple images one at a time, but add them as you're selecting. So what I'm going to do is link. You see that link button down there? Go ahead and click that. Now, so what you just did, you didn't merge them, but when you move one, the other is going to follow right along. Okay, so then that means they're still independent. You can still edit them separate. And as a matter of fact, we need to clean up the top of this image up here. Go ahead and do that right quick. And now we get to understand a little bit about our composition. Okay, if we're missing some of the data here, so we want to put that behind the face here because the face is already filled out. So we can put that there, hide that. This one's missing part of the hand, right? So let's take that one. Matter of fact, you do that one. Drag that image underneath the one with the tan shirt with the stripes. And then drop it. Okay, so then that one, once we move it a little bit, and let's turn on these guidelines. So we see that we're pushing it over here. Basically, this area here is your text and photo safe area. Like you can have his ear over here, but you wouldn't want his eye over there because it's too close to being cut off. So I tell people, if you're okay with it being cut off, then it's cool. But if you don't want it cut off, do not put it past that dotted line. All right, and then I'm going to drag the shoulder piece back down. And see, look, we didn't even need that shoulder piece. We could have put the head over that shoulder. But you learned something today. You learned. All right, so let's take little one here, Herschel. Oh, it's coming together so nice already. And of course, we have the vehicle. We got to be able to see those words. And now you see how when you're layering stuff, you don't have to worry off rip about cutting out so cleanly. You want to know, what am I really going to see by the time I complete this composition? So now that you know what you're going to see, you really don't have to cut anything else out perfect. Yeah. That's it. I might take the silver car, bring it here, and then so I see stunner a little bit. I'm going to Control T, and then maybe rotate the car to where I see more of the letter. Yep, so I don't miss that A. And what size shirt would you be printing this on?
Men small.
Okay, so definitely we want to make sure that we're inside of these small parameters here. And that's important too. So we're going to make sure we pull all of this in. And then that way, if you did need to print a bigger picture, you still have, you don't have images outside the area, but at least you have your background. And you might have some other elements. Okay. Liking it already. What you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You sounded calm over there, but I think you really sounded confident over there. All right. So, let's see here. What about, do you want doves on this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me do this. If I don't blow my computer up, let me stop talking about my computer. Let me stop talking about my baby like that. I'm going to grab my other Remembrance file because it already has the doves cut out, and we could just put them on in there. That would be, yeah. Why do the extra work? Especially, some of you already have that template too. Let's see.
Yeah.
That one, the name of the template is Remembrance. Let me double click that. And we'll open up 2 large files right now, so we're just going to calm down and let her do what she does. And we're not doing too bad on time, even with the delay and everything, and doing an all over shirt. So typically I like to tell you we can get a project done if we're doing one-on-one session. Some people I need a minimum of 2 hours to get something done, and some I can get a full project done in an hour. Just depending on how much we're starting from and what we're learning. So, but we're gonna go ahead. What's that?
I was excited. I learned the gradient part because I was stressing over that.
I know. You know what? Somebody else was too, and I hope they're watching tonight. I can't even think of her name right now because she wanted. I asked her if she could do a video of what was happening in the Innate Creatives Facebook group, and she took a screenshot. But a screenshot, I can't tell what you did from one step to the next step. I'm like, okay, yeah, exactly. Pictures disappear. It could have been a million things happen. But yes, I hope she's watching tonight. And if not, I'll have this recorded and I'll leave this up. Ooh, baby, look at how long it's taking to open this file.
Yeah, that one is big. It did that on my computer.
Yeah. And I have, I think I even have another, I think I have that other big file up too, the one with the cards on it. That's another large file. And I have it sharing the screen with you on one program and recording and streaming live on the other program. So we're just going to be patient tonight.
Yes. I got time.
Well, I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate you allowing us to do this live too, because I know this is really important for you.
Yes.
And I'm sure those watching, if I were to log in right now, I'm sure they would tell me that they appreciate it too. I always put a little extra into these type of projects. What's that?
Yeah. I said I don't mind because you helped me a lot, like understand a lot of
What's
stuff
that?
differently.
Well,
I said I don't mind doing the 101 on live because you helped us, so I don't mind helping other people around too.
do y'all hear that? She doesn't mind helping y'all. Y'all better say thank you. Yep, they saying yes. We do appreciate it. Yes, they appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Yes, highly appreciate it. All right, loves. Okay, so while
So
that's
what is you see the text?
what's that?
What's in the back of the text? That white.
It looks
What's
like a maybe what they call a brush stroke. It's a brush, and I have one on here. So what I'll do is I'll put it as an element, and then that way you can use it in other. When you have this template, you can take that little brush stroke out, and you can use it on other things. But yeah, it's a couple of brush strokes. So these are. I love when y'all bring me these because it really helps break down the whole process. And you know what?
Okay.
I should have closed out some other stuff before. You know what? Let me be quiet because it's moving. You're moving. You're doing your thing. I'm sorry. Oh, and I have a external monitor plugged in. It's a tablet like that you can draw on, and I never draw on it. I just use it as an external monitor, so it's drawing a few resources of its own. One of these days, I'm gonna really have it together, y'all. I'm gonna be set up so nice. I promise. I'm just gonna have a chair. My brother picks at me, and he called me Professor X. Because I try to have like everything around me that I need, and it's like a system to it. And if only the whole system could just roll with me. And it's funny because I have a little rolling cart for my computer. So anywhere that I go in the house, I bring my little rolling cart with the 2 screens on it. And my brother's looking at me shaking his head. Oh, so yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah. Child, this thing was like $69. It was the best little $69 I ever spent. And it can do standing height. So you know when you're standing up and you need to type on the computer, it can go up to I think like 30 something inches in height. So I make it stand up high like when I'm printing because I don't like to sit down, type something and go over to the printer. So when I'm next to the printer, I take the whole laptop station over to the printer with me because we be having problems with them little Epson, the Epson 7720s and 7710s. So I sit right there with it and I put it at standing height and I troubleshoot and all that good stuff. So yeah, girl. I have to teach y'all everything, every mistake I've never made, everything I've learned. I'd rather teach it and have you go through it. All right, so we're doing all of this to get some doves, Shannon. Come on. I guess I can grab those clouds out of there too. But you know what? I'm going to show you how to do the clouds. We're going to do clouds with brushes tonight instead of doing the same old template. I'm going to switch it up. If I can. If it allows. Matter of fact, I promise I got these doves somewhere on here as PNGs. I probably could even download it. Yeah, I got a couple of doves. I don't know if they're PNGs though. Because some of them will say that they're PNGs, but you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, I thought you were moving, then I started talking about you, so maybe if I start talking about you again, you'll get riled up and try to show out. Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm the one that clicks on a million things while I'm waiting for something else to happen, and I just can't. I want to hit cancel so bad. I think in Photoshop, even when you hit cancel, it doesn't do anything. Like it keeps doing what it wants to do anyway. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it always just keeps opening because I be trying to close stuff down and it just do. I'll be like, whatever. Just close
yeah,
everything down.
yeah. Just yeah. I go get some coffee or something while you thinking. I just don't have time. And then the fact that you make me feel like I have an option to hit something right now really just makes me
Right.
mad.
Make me more anxious, huh?
Oh boy. Okay, so in the meantime, I guess what we could do, let's do this. Let's go ahead and pull any additional elements. I know that or at least talk about it. Know the paint splatter, or the paint stroke, brush stroke. I have that. I guess we're gonna get these doves at some point in time. And the abstract image at the top, we'll play with it, but you might like the grunge look better because it's already got your colors in there. So we'll pull clouds in. We'll do whatever this little splash is behind the main images. We'll do that. And that'll be it. We got the car already, and then the text, of course.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure I know what that top text is. It's like Master or something. Master of Comics, I believe, is the name of that top font. I don't know the bottom font, but we'll figure something out for that. And we were going to do, what's the text? We're going to do RIP. Smooth. Yep. And I pretty much already have that on there too. So as soon as Photoshop allows us to continue, and you know what's messed up? I need to stop touching stuff because I didn't do what I tell y'all to do, which is save as you go along. So we're gonna pray on this. Okay, I was gonna say I thought Photoshop was about to do me dirty. I was like, you raggedy. They was gonna get my waiting to exhale line out of me. You raggedy bitch. Matter of fact, let me save. Oh Lord. Okay, so Mr. Dove, since we did all this for you, let's go ahead and grab these doves, and then I'll pull them into our new template. So I have 1 and 2 selected. I held down Control so I can select more than one. We'll pull them in. Yeah, my poor little, I'm getting little warnings over here. High CPU usage. That I know. And did you want wings on anything, or we're going to keep this one without wings?
No wings.
Okay, cool. So clouds, and I said clouds, we're going to make clouds. So literally, yeah, we just pulled this open just to grab 2 template 2. This will be another template I have ready for y'all at some other point in time. So I'm sure I'll be getting some requests on that one too. So we're not going to save because we didn't do anything to that worth saving. Alright, so our doves went somewhere. We need clouds and this paint splatter. So let's see, dove 1. And then we can move our doves wherever we want to. By the time we finish the composition of design, we may even duplicate them and change them around. But I just want to make sure we had them on our artboard. Alright. And they're in areas that are safe as far as being cut off somewhat. Okay, so we have doves. We need the paint that you were asking about. I'm going to show you that brush. Let's see. Now this was one of the free brushes I downloaded. I went to Brush Easy. Like I said, some of the brushes are kind of hit or miss. Yeah, they come back, Vicky?
Yeah.
Oh, did it kick you off?
Yeah, on my phone. I got a janky little phone.
Okay, I thought the doves did it. I was about to say. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna find you. Alright, stop. There we go. brush strokes. Here we go. So brush strokes, I'm looking for one that has like a little edge on it. Like I said, these free brushes did not, it kind of straggles off at the end. Something like that. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, did I? Oh, I messed up. I painted on my dove. I am tripping. So I need a new layer for something like that. And now what it is basically a stamp. If I do only one paint brush tap on a single layer, now this layer is like its own PNG. So I can drag it beneath the car. I can Control T and stretch it out. You say he's a small, so basically anything that goes outside of that line you wouldn't see anyway. A better brush stroke. Because like I said, the free brushes, I was playing with them today. This one kind of tapers a little bit. That one might be better. Yeah. And Control Z is picked out. And you can stamp it anywhere. It's a new layer.
Okay.
Yep, you got it. So now if you want to move it around, grab your move tool. You got it?
Yeah, I think so. There.
I think you're holding down the space bar. Oh, you have the oh, you selected the that's the pan tool. When you see the white glove, what that does is if you're zoomed in, and that's a good tool to know. But if you're zoomed in, it moves the whole artboard around rather than moving the piece around. Your move tool is always going to be that top left one there. And go ahead and move that one down below the car.
I'm confused. Sorry.
It's okay. Have you tried to move it?
It said you took back control.
So it wasn't letting you control. Do I need to give you control again?
Yeah, it said presenter took control back.
Oh, okay. So it's me then. And you know what it could be too, because of the high CPU usage, it might not be allowing me to let you use it right now, because it uses up extra resources. But I'm just making it bigger right now. I think this one probably works a little bit better. It looks more realistic as a paint splash. I'm gonna Control T and rotate it, so we get that edge over there. Bring it over there. And then if I want to duplicate it, I will hold down Alt and move it. See how it turns into a double arrow? That just duplicated it. Or you can right click on the words for the layer, and then you can go to duplicate layer.
Okay.
For some reason it's right next to delete layer. But that's where that is. And now you see that that's where you get that kind of effect. The same thing that they had. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Let's see, we had some effects that kind of splashed out from behind the images, and we keep it white right now, but you know you can change the color of these paint splashes if you do a color overlay. Let me show you that. Not a satin, but a color overlay. So this is what I do. I do all my brush strokes, and I do them in black so I can see them. And then I just do a color overlay. So let's say if you wanted to make it the lime green. Pick your green. And see how that one in the back is changing?
Yeah.
And right now it's on multiply. We'll put it on normal for the color overlay, just so we get the pure color. Nothing crazy. And now you have the green one. You put the green one on top of the white one, or the white one on top of the green one.
Okay.
There you go. If you want to change it back, all you have to do is take off that effect and it's back to white. But that's the easy way that I use these brushes. I stamp them and then I use them as design elements. And that's why I sell them as PNGs, because some people can't use brushes, but they can take these PNGs and they can play with those and layer them. All right, so let's find some sprays, some paint sprays to go behind the image. So back to our brushes. I don't know that this one is gonna have what we want. I doubt it. And then those watercolor ones were kind of garbage. Let's do. I'll go to my tried and true. I tried something new. You know how that is.
Yes.
Alright, let's see if we can find something. And I have some that look like kind of like fireworks too. So maybe we can mix those up. That looks like a good spray pattern. Oh, if it'll stop. Oh. Boy, Photoshop is mad at me tonight. Calm down, bucko. It's okay. Alright. I want that one with the spatter. Let's see see how the brush size is previewing for me when I hover over the artboard? If I think it's too big, then I can go back, right click, and I can bring down the size of the brush. But I think this size might actually work. Now what I need to do, new layer. New layer. Alright. Let's splash one time, see how that looks, and then I'm going to drag it underneath my photo so I see what it looks like layered. You like that?
Yeah.
And then we can even change the transparency if it's a little too much. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a different layer for my next splash. I don't want to put all my splashes on one layer just in case I want to rotate them or do anything else. So go back to my new layer. And see, it made it exactly the same. And I want to rotate it because I don't want it to look like I just took the same stamp and did it over and over again. So I might rotate it so that it looks a little bit different and you can't tell that it was the same brush. And what I was saying you can do here is if you wanted to change the opacity, I can bring down the opacity a little bit so that right now it's at 55 instead of 100, and then that way it either is bright white or I can make it look a little bit more like, you know, like it's watercolored and layered. So you have that option too. I usually do that last when I kind of figure out how strong my colors and my design is. Let's see, what else do we have? Got a couple paint splashes. We got our brush mark across. I'm trying to remember without going back to the image.
Oh, it has the lightning and then the clouds at the bottom.
Right. Oh, you're good. All right, so let's do a new layer. Let me find a cloud brush so I can show you how you can use brushes. You don't actually have to find pictures of clouds to bring them in. So I'm going to go ahead. These brushes. And it's just scrolling by itself now, so I'm trying to let it catch up with me. And I know I have clouds and lightning, so let me close that up. Let's see. Let's go to thunderstorm. That's a big cloud right there. Now for clouds, here's the tip with clouds. If you paint with white, they look like clouds. If you paint with black, they look like smoke. So that's the idea of the positive and negative space. So I have a new layer here, right? New layer. So I'm going to stamp a cloud and see what it looks like. It looks white, so it looks like an actual cloud. So I'm going to make this brush size a little bit bigger because we're dealing with such a huge canvas. I don't want to make a cloud and then have to stretch it out. So I'm going to grab this cloud and I'm going to bring it all the way to the front because we'll have some foreground clouds and then we'll have some background clouds.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I'll even bring it in front of the words right now. Just so we'll have some clouds that might go in front, some behind. And I'm rotating that cloud. And watch this. I can even turn that cloud. If I don't want it white, I can do a color overlay. And I can make that cloud go with the lime green theme.
Oh, man.
Yeah! Alright, now, right now it's a little opaque. I'm going to keep it the lime green, but I'm just going to bring down the opacity. So I'll take, and I don't usually play with opacity. I like to play with the fill. So I bring that fill down just a little bit. Oh, I got to tell it for the color overlay. I have to tell it that I want it to change the blending options. Take that off. Blend interior effects as the group. Okay. And then that's where my transparency comes in. Because otherwise I wasn't seeing it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what I can do is I can take a bright green cloud and then put a white cloud in front. So let's say I'm going to do a new layer. Because that layer already has the green color overlay. Let's say I want to do a white cloud. A new layer. Another cloud. And then I end up with at least 4 clouds that kind of give me something to layer with.
Okay.
Now let's do one more. Alright, so all of these are now on different layers. So I can Control T, transform them, rotate them around. And like we said, we're staying within this small shirt. So even though it looks cool that we're dragging this image all the way out, we won't really see the clouds unless we make them apparent on the small shirt. And then we can always add some extra clouds just in case you ever want to use this template for a bigger shirt.
Okay.
So we got that white one there. Let's take, and I would even label these. Like I'll label that cloud for cloud 3. And the reason why I do this is because when I'm right clicking on something, I can see what it is I'm trying to select cloud for. Cool. What am I selecting here? Cloud 3. It'll tell you everything that you're touching right there.
Okay.
And this will be helpful for the next person that because every time we're doing this, I'm basically getting ideas to make templates for y'all. So it helps me too. Don't think that you're bothering me none. Alright, so let's do green in the background. And then I'll probably take a little bit of white clouds. I'm going to take cloud 2 and 3, right click and duplicate them, and it's going to just make a quick copy of them. And then I'm going to drag those 2 in front of the car. So we get a little bit of cloud in front of the car. Control T allows us to transform it. Bring it down a little bit. Let's rotate it. I don't want it to look exactly like the cloud underneath it. And let's do the same thing to cloud 2. Control T to transform. And let's bring that size down a little bit. And we don't have to stretch these clouds out proportionately. We can hold down shift and stretch them out disproportionately, and then that way they look like a different type of cloud.
Yeah.
And in this particular one, I think I'm going to turn it upside down because it's covering up too much of the car. I just kind of want it to look like it's just hazing just a little bit. And now these big old clouds, now we can start to put those towards the back and put it behind the photos. And now you see you just building on your image. Just building. And we didn't have to go grab a picture of a sky from somewhere and delete some of the picture and then try to make some other things show through. We basically are right now creating our own sky. So
Yeah,
this one I'm going to do.
that's way easier.
What's that?
That's way easier.
Yeah, and it's different because sometimes it's easier just to take a whole landscape and throw it in the background and just throw a photo on top. But for this, we have certain elements we want to poke through and other elements that we want to kind of fade into the background. So for that, you can't be making a cloud. And then, of course, we're going to add the lightning and stuff too. So then we get a little more control of where those elements go. So let's take this cloud here, Control T, let's drag it up, make it smaller, and then we're going to put that one. And see, now that cloud is going to kind of hide the fact that his the baby picture was kind of missing the side of that photo. Will we drag that below the baby picture? That should help blend that in. So now it's not just a stark cutoff there.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we can see if we really want to play with this green, bring it in. Let's add another one. I'm just hitting Alt and dragging it. Oh yeah, I'm kind of liking that. What do you think about the green? Do you want to tone it down? Alright. Cool. Alright, so now is the time where we need to back up a little bit. Well, now is the time we need to save since I heard a noise. Control S. We're going to save. Yeah, it's saving. It's about 40% done right now. And we can definitely move this text up. Now what we're going to end up doing is probably taking the whole image layer and shrinking it a little bit so that our text can move up into the text area. And I'll show you how we're going to do that in just a second.
Okay.
Alright, so let's select everything. This is where I kind of just group everything that's not. And as a matter of fact, I don't like to group the background though, because I like this to stay stable. So I'm going to select everything, which is weird because I think that's already in a group. Let's see. Yep. So I need to drag these things below this layer. I'm just rearranging this now, and this is kind of part of how I have to think when I make templates. So we'll take that group and we'll drag it outside of this group, because if we try to drag it all together, it's going to stay together. So when I see that double line, that's how I know I'm outside of that group. And now I'll take group 2, drag it above group 4. And now black layers back to the back. And then, I mean, this also helps you see, like, basically as you're playing around with this stuff, how the elements play on top of one another. Alright, so we're going to call this our background. So we don't mess that up. We're going to leave background, and then we're going to come and change all of our foreground stuff, including the doves. So all we're doing is just shrinking it down to make sure that we're not going to cut off anything important. Especially being that this is going to be on a small shirt. There we go. All right. Zoom in a little bit. Bring this text above everything else. I'm going to do Control T, and I'm going to squish. I normally don't squish text in, but just so I make sure that we fit it inside of here, I'm going to squish it. And that way we make sure we're safe. won't cut anything off. And of course, we're going to change the colors of the text. You want to go, let's do that already looks like Chrome. There it is. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's it right there. Okay, so we're going to go with that one. And then we'll add a little blue tint to it, so it'll kind of be the same kind of blue tint. Okay, you got my mouse. You got it. I think I see it. So on color overlay, you come over here to where the swatch is, and I want you to click on that white swatch and hover over the chrome on the car. It has like a little bit of a blue tint to it. So pick right on that bumper. It's like a little something extra to it I want to grab. Matter of fact, right about there. See how it's blue? I know I wasn't tripping. There's a little blue right there. We're going to do that so that basically it looks like the color from the car is also, and that's probably the sky or something that's reflecting on the chrome. So instead of hue right now, let's play with the blending mode, because obviously hue isn't going to do it for us. So try darken, and I want you to use the down arrow and just hit the down arrow on your keyboard. There you go. So hit darken and then hit the down arrow and keep going down till you see how these work. Just click on darken and then hit your down arrow, and just you'll go through all the options, kind of like scrolling. Hold on, let's try. Okay, that's darken. That's multiply. See, I'm using my down arrow. Can you use your down arrow?
I'm retarded. Let's see.
So you're using it. You got it. Okay, so color dodge. Color dodge. It takes away our silver. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, overlay. Let's stop right there. And I think overlay works if we can pull down the opacity just a little bit. So see how we get a little bit of that blue, but it's still keeping that hard silver color? And let's see for the gradient. Yeah, it's got a gradient on there too. And that's already good to go. It's probably got satin on there that's giving it that hard line. Okay. What do you think about the text? Do you want to change anything?
I just don't like how this line is straight.
You want it like, instead of being straight across, like it to have like a little gradation between it?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see if it's the actual, it's not that.
Or is it the style of the gradient?
That's what it is. It has, it actually has like a horizon image in there. So let's do this. Let's see. So we change the scale of it. Make this a little bit lighter.
You say pop out the phone? Yeah, this won't turn it up too well.
Does that look better for you? And we can change this font too. Now the font that we had on the other one, I will tell you this, it was a script font, and for some reason to me, scripts don't look right when you have all caps, like the RIP, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's Master. Master Comics, I think was the name of that font. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So So maybe you could do smooth in the, in the kind of script style font, and then the RIP we could do in a different, more bold font. Polar computer. I hear it over here whispering. On this. Alright.
Talking. Yeah, they're talking.
Let's see. Let's find us a good, strong. Do you want something like this one that has the serifs? And just so you know what terms are, serifs are the fonts that have like feet on them, and sans serif are the fonts that have smooth, like no feet on them. So you want serif, like a serif font, or a sans serif, like with or without the feet?
I'm thinking the RIPs was fun at all. I think you should maybe just say rest in peace. For sure.
You want to spell it out, rest in peace? Because if we spell it out, we can use if you like the script, we can use script if we spell it out.
Yeah, he said you could say long live instead of the RIP. Because that RIP is kind of throwing it off. Like, I don't know. Long live. Yeah.
That look better?
Yeah, way better.
Alright, so let's change the size of this, because now we're going to make this 2 lines. And we can do like the rest in peace in green and the smooth in silver, or, we can switch it up. That way it looks a little bit different. And then if I wanted to keep the same effects and I just wanted to add, let's do the rest in peace in the green because it's already touching the chrome. So rest in peace, we'll grab that one. We'll double click on our effects. And this time for the color overlay, instead of that light blue, we'll pick our green color. Say OK. And let's make it more intense. And let's choose one of these blend modes. I think either multiply. One of these is going to give us what we want. If you see one that you like, let me know. I don't know if it's showing a delay on your end.
Okay. Is that it?
That's all it really did for us. Let me bring down. I got it on darken right now, and it looks like it's playing with. I'll put it on another blend mode. And something that's affecting it. I think it's the. So change it to white, and then my color overlay. I'm seeing too much of this dark down here, and I'm trying to avoid it. Seeing what blend mode works best for that. You know, I think it has to do with this pattern that's in there. Again, that pattern that they chose to put in there yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, they kicked me out. Oh, there you go.
Uh-oh. Is it letting you take over the mouse? Because all of a sudden my mouse started going crazy.
I don't know. It kicked me out and then it brought me back in. I kind of like that.
Was that you like that one?
Yeah.
Because it looks like a road, like it's a road around some mountains or something. So it's kind of giving you that effect.
Yeah.
And then it brings the black in a little bit. Let me make sure I'm saving. Control S. And then we'll bring smooth on top. And kind of shrink this down a little bit because I got it stretched out. Make sure that we're in good into our text safe area. Rest in peace. We'll shrink that down a little bit because it's a little tall. And then we can adjust the car and everything.
Okay.
Alright. You getting tired yet?
No, I'll be standing up. I'll be standing on the last minute to all the live.
Oh, really? Are you be one of the ones that I have to like, well, all right, I'm going to let you go now.
That's me.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, and he likes it. He just came in. So.
Oh, he just saw it a little bit? Good,
Yeah.
good. Well, that's what gets me whenever I work on stuff. Like I usually have to have complete quiet. I usually work on this type of stuff like 1 o'clock in the morning where people can't bother me. I don't have to answer my phone, and you can really put, love and the type of energy into this that it really deserves. So it does really mean something to be able to work on this for you too. All right. Let's bring Dove down a little bit. Don't cover up the head that we just created. We spent that time making the top of the head. Let's preserve it. Oh, I want to show you something too. Like if we want to change perspective, you see how I just grabbed that little node and I'm kind of stretching that out a little bit.
Okay.
It gives you a way to kind of make that look like it's coming out at you. It's let's see, if I hold down Alt, Control, and I grab one of the corners, it allows me to kind of distort it.
Okay.
So that's something new too. It just makes it look more exaggerated. So at least the Dove is a little bit different than the one that's on the other one. Let's see. So that's going off the small shirt. So that's going to get cut off anyways. Was there anything else that we were going to add or change here? Now, if you were going to print this on bigger shirts, I would say do some more clouds at the bottom, like to go into the bigger size shirts. As a matter of fact, let's do a new cloud though, because I don't want to keep using the same cloud. Let's do a new cloud, new layer. And we'll go to our paintbrush tool. And we have the first cloud select. Oh yeah, we said we're going to do lightning.
Oh yeah.
So let me grab that cloud. And we'll stamp it. Control T. We'll stretch it out. Make it go all the way across the bottom. That way we're getting some good use out of that cloud. We don't have to keep using the little small ones over and over again. Like I said, this is going to be your runoff anyway. And that cloud, you might want to make the fill be like maybe 70%. And then if you duplicate that layer, it makes the cloud more opaque only where it touches another cloud. So it kind of builds on top of that previous cloud. And you can keep doing that until you're satisfied. See how now I'm building on it, so the one up front looks a little bit thicker than the ones on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just switching up my rotation so they don't look like the same exact clouds. And so that one I might even bring the opacity down really low. And now it looks like we have different clouds. And it's the same old cloud.
Yeah.
And then this one, I definitely need to bring below the photos because I can tell it's over the face. And then we said lightning, right? Let's do same thing, paintbrush. Now I'm gonna let you paint this lightning. If it won't let you do anything else with this mouse, it should let you strike up a little lightning. Hold on a second. Let me grab. As a matter of fact, you see that 917? Grab that lightning body. Go ahead and create you a new layer. Yep. And hover over the artboard and see how big that lightning is going to be. It's kind of small, so right click and make it a little bit bigger. If you can't move that slider, sometimes the slider won't move, just type in the number, like type in 1300 or something.
Oh, Lord.
I told you the thing just jumps. It jumps from like a small number to an astronomical number. It has, yeah, that's good. Go with 2000. I want to see that lightning be a little bit bigger. Can you just hit the backspace? Or is it not letting you? Okay. There you go. That's more like it. Okay, just stamp one on there. Alright, so that's one. That's all you need. And what we're going to do, oops, that's my bad there. Alright, so I'm going to Control T it. And now it's going to allow you to move it. So I want you to put that lightning wherever you want it to go. You can move it, you can stretch it out, whatever you want to do with it. And as long as you're inside of that box, it should let you move it. Is it letting you stretch it or anything?
No.
I can see you trying.
Yeah, I was like, I'm trying, but...
It's okay, I'll grab it. I got you.
Oh.
That was me there. Yeah, I want... And then also let's keep in mind that this is going to be on a small. So we'll keep these elements to where we'll see them on his shirt. Now I'm going to drag that lightning above the clouds. And then we're going to do a color overlay. Let's do the lightning. Now we can do lightning black. And we can do lightning with the green. You tell me what you like. We can even do green lightning and white and black lightning or whatever.
Black.
Let's do color overlay. Let's choose black.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah. And I have Herschel right here too. He's chiming in.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. I'm doing Control Plus right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that lightning and I'm just going to Alt drag so I have a couple of them. Switch it around. So it looks a little bit different, doesn't look exactly like the same lightning. Might switch it again and this time shrink it down a little bit. And that way you get a little bit different effect. Now the other thing you can do, you can change, let's say you want to put a white one on top of the black one, you can do that too. You can even make it glow from the outside. I don't know if it's showing up. I was trying to make it glow from the outside of the lightning. I don't know if it's showing though. Well, that's probably a good lesson anyway, and not messing with it and stressing this thing out. Now, I will say this green one over here is standing out maybe a little too much. Bring that down a little bit. And is there anything else that you see? Because you know me, I'll pick at this thing all night. I said, you know me, I'll pick at this thing all night. Is there anything else that you see that you want to change or do anything to? I'm just getting
Can the text be one color? All of it be the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What color do you want to text?
The same one as where it says rest in peace.
Gotcha. Okay, so the way we do that, we click on the rest in peace. We're going to copy that layer style. And then we click on the smooth. And then we'll paste the layer style. And it's a little bit different because of how the photo is in there. So we can change that photo around too.
Yeah, like that.
All right. Yeah, it kind of looks like a road. Do you see the road in there? How it kind of looks like the road bending the curve or something. Looks like that's the kind of car that would be driven on that road. All right. And like that. Anything else you see you want to change or add to it?
No.
Do you like it?
No, thank you. Yeah, I like it.
Oh, okay. Good. Well, you know, if we can get the young men to like a design, and that's how you know we got a hot design. Because you know y'all crack on one another about what you wear. So if you're gonna wear this, then I know it's a good design.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look at our original design. and see if we miss anything or we hitting the mark. What you think?
Hit the mark.
All right. Hey, that's what I like to hear. So bad. And let me control S. Let me save. And I'm gonna check on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook. YouTube. We still got 19 people alive. Hey. Okay. Yes. Let's see if we have any questions. Everybody says they love it. It's really nice. Yes. You inspired a lot of people tonight. Whose idea was it to do this design?
I sent him a whole bunch of them and he picked this one.
So, okay, you the trendsetter then. Okay. Well, I'm really liking it. And right now, I don't know if he knows we're doing this live on YouTube, but everybody else loves it too.
Yeah, I just showed him all the people. He didn't know that many people watching.
Don't be shy now. You're famous. You got 19 people watching you tonight. They kind of died off. I think they needed to take naps. But I think we came up with a really great design tonight. I'm really impressed. I'm impressed by your skills and what you were able to do tonight, even with this lagging connection that we have. You were able to do your gradients, which was the thing that was causing you to think that you couldn't do it, but you did it. And you did it first try, right?
Yes.
You got it. Was there anything else that that you wanted to learn from this experience before we save and close this file out?
I wanted to see how you did that point and drag thing, but I don't know if the computer's going to let us do it.
You know what? Do this. Do me a favor. Take one of the photos on your Photoshop. Now, your Photoshop can handle this. Take that one of the photos, and I want you to take your brush tool the same way we did with the gradient, and I just want you to brush around the image and try to remove around it. Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about the clone tool.
You know how you did the clicking and we did the shoulder and it like...
Oh, yes. Okay, so I'm going to show you. It won't let you... We'll see. We'll see what it does. Hold on. Let me make sure I save. Matter of fact, I'm going to close out of this big file because that's something that everybody is dreading doing. I know because I tell them to do it and practice it, but I guarantee you nobody does it and practices it. Let's see. Let me go grab just a photo. As a matter of fact, we'll grab the same photo and open it up. All right. So what this is called the pen tool. And the pen tool is special because it's basically creating a vector, even in Photoshop. So it's creating a shape. Okay. Now what you want to do, I'm going to show you first, and then I'm going to let you take over. You want to click. Are you clicking anything? Or moving the mouse? Okay. Well, my mouse keeps like resetting. But I'm going to click. When I want a sharp point, I click. When I want a curve, I click. But before I move, I drag. And see how those handles come up? If I want a sharp point, I click. I get a click to get a corner. If I want a curve, I click and drag. Click and drag is the name of the game. And if you want a sharp corner, click, click, click. If I want something rounded, I click and drag. And then basically what you're doing is you're creating a contour shape. And I'm just going to go ahead and close it off. But I come back to my original point. See how it turns into a filled point? I stop there. And now I can choose several things to do with this. I can create a layer mask. Right? I can go back. I can create a shape, which just made a shape right there. And this shape is literally a vector shape. It has outline but no fill. Or I can create a selection. And what we did earlier, we just created a selection because we were just trying to clean it up a little bit. And see, now you see the marching ants. So the best thing to do is to create a vector mask, because if I create a vector mask right here, even if you can't use the pen tool right now, you can always go back and manipulate these nodes. So I can take my direct select tool, I can take that node right there, and I can move that specific node. Uh-oh, something's going on. And see how my mask moves?
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of doing a vector mask in Photoshop. So I'm gonna take off this mask, delete the layer mask, and I'm going to give you the pen tool. I don't know, I might have to zoom out just a little bit. Don't worry about being exact, just worry more about can you feel how the pen tool works. And just go, just try it.
Okay.
Even if it's not exact, just try it out. The next one, try to make your curve. Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it.
All right, check.
It's okay, keep going, just keep going. Just keep practicing. Next one, when you click, before you let it go, pull it.
Can I do that first?
Yeah, Control Z, I'm going to go back. I'll go back a couple. So let me go back another one.
Yeah.
Okay, now the pen tool is a continuous thing, so if I click again, it's going to continue from that point. Alright. Alright, so you should be set up pretty good. So here's my tip. Go to the corner, this peak right here, and pull. Go to that peak, the outside peak, and pull. Right, yep, right there. Pull. And then when you select the next point and pull, basically you have to practice with this tool because how you select the first point determines how the next point behaves. And that's why most people are intimidated by the pen tool because it takes a little practice. But once you get it, it's almost like if you know when you're learning to sketch something and you just do several curved lines and you just keep sketching the outside of something, that's exactly what you're doing. You're using those, just like when you're sketching the outside of something, you're using one point to determine where the next point goes. Kind of like connect the dots.
Okay.
But instead of, yeah, you're going to get it. Just play with it. I promise you, if you play with that, watch some YouTube tutorials. The keywords that you want to look up are vector, mask, Photoshop. If you look up those words, vector, mask, and Photoshop, you'll find so many tutorials on just creating these vector masks. Even ones that are really complicated, like if you have hair and you need to get the outside of the hair and create a mask for that, you can do that too. But this will be something definitely to practice.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and, yeah, I just needed to at least learn the concept of it so I could be practicing.
Yeah, and I will tell you this. You see how fuzzy this picture is? If we wanted a really clean line shape, if I were to really take my time to cut this out, I'm going to show you what learning how to use this tool can take a really fuzzy picture and make it look, and I'm going to skip over some of the shirt. But I'm going to show you how even with the contours in the face. See how fuzzy this picture is even when I zoom in? Mm-hmm. Now, if I were to cut this out with any other tool, I'm going to have a fuzzy outline, right?
Yeah.
But let me show you. And of course, I'm not quite on the mark, but I think I'm close enough to show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it looks good though. Like how you doing it? You just do it so quick.
It's only because of practice, and I still don't get it right. So now I have the shape, right? If I create a mask from this shape, and then I click off of this layer, I have a smooth edge, even though the image is not smooth at all.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, and then if I want to change it, I double click on this mask, and I can tell it, hey, mask, I want to feather you out a little bit. Look at that. I can feather out the mask.
Oh.
And I can make it look fuzzier. And I have not destroyed, I have not erased anything in the background, none of that. I can go back to my mask, and let's say I cut off too much of his ear or something. I could go in and I could say, ooh, I cut off too much of that ear. Let me get my direct select tool. And now I can move just that node right there and give him his ear back. That is the beauty of a vector mask in Photoshop.
Yeah, that's
Here's
good.
another beauty of a vector mask in Photoshop. I created a whole bunch of designs for Christmas where I did sublimation and I did glitter cutouts. Well, they were photos. I created the vector mask in Photoshop, saved it as a PDF, opened it in Illustrator, and guess what my plotter can do now? Cut out that contour with the registration marks from so I use Illustrator. I don't use silhouettes or anything. I have a Roland cutter, so I use my Illustrator to do my print and cuts, and it puts the registration points. These vector masks are exactly what the computer will cut because it recognizes it as a vector.
Okay, yeah.
That's just some extra information I didn't mean to overload you with tonight, but
No, that's good.
Yeah, so if you get the whole idea is, I know it's tougher, but if you get confident with that mode, I just started doing this in the last couple years. I've been doing Photoshop since 2000, so 20 years. Yeah, since high school. So yeah, I just started doing it a couple years ago. So you are not alone in feeling intimidated.
Yeah.
But you're doing good, girl. You're doing good.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, love. And I can't wait to see y'all. I don't know if you're going to produce this one. Are you going to do it all over? You're going to have it printed, or are you going to press it, like tile it and press it?
I think I want to have I want somebody to print it, and then I'll press it.
So we do that service now. We print it and we can ship it to you as the big paper, and we also press now. So if you want us to press it, we can. But the prints are like $13 for the sheet. So if you want to do front and back, it would be $13 plus $13. If you need it pressed for yourself, just let me know. I have to put that listing up. But yeah, if you've got a 16, you have a 16 by 20 press?
No.
Would you have 15 by 15? 15 by 15 for a small shirt. I did 4 presses for an extra large on my 16 by 20. You should be able to do 4, maybe. You might have to do 6 presses. For a small shirt, you won't have to do 6 presses. You should be able to get it done in 4 presses. But it's a little tricky with the 15 by 15 heat press because you can only get 30 inches in one direction.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm just gonna have to go through you to just print it for me.
Well, just let me know if that's what you want to do, and I'm supposed to be setting up that listing so that people can order them straight from the website. So we'll have that set up as well, and and then that way, just to let you know, you can hit me up, and because you did a live session with me. Now I was going to give you a template, but if you want to use some of that money instead of a template, you want to use that credit, I'll just put a credit on your account and you can use it towards printing a shirt.
Okay.
And that's my gift to you for allowing us to do this live for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now make sure you message me and remind me, because the way my mind works is when I shut this off, I'm gonna shut down just like this computer trying to do.
Okay.
But I got you, love, and I appreciate you dearly.
Okay, thank you again.
You're welcome. Good night. Okay. All right, you too, bitch. Good night, love. I don't know if anybody's still on YouTube right now, but I'm getting ready to shut it down. Let me go ahead and close out. We don't need to save that. Do y'all have any questions on YouTube? The 15 of you who are still, hopefully 14 of you who have your eyes open right now. I'm here for any questions if y'all have for that session. That was a loud session. I probably was loud too, but a long session. And I'm glad you all toughed it out and stayed around, because we did go through some stuff that we've never done before. So I'm looking to see if y'all have any questions. Shay says wait. Very helpful. Awesome. Jesse. Thanks, Jesse. You are definitely a rider. You are a trooper here all the time and comment on the videos even when you don't catch the live, and I appreciate that. Shay, what's up? You said wait. I'm trying to see if you have something that you need help with. I don't know if I'm getting a delay. Oh, where did you click on to clean the outside of the picture? Oh, you were saying wait before I close that out. What I did, I'll go back to it. There is an option. Once you create a path, you have several options at the top of the screen. One of the options is to create a shape. One of the options is to create a mask. And the other one is to create a selection from the path that you created. So what I did was I created a mask, and whatever I had of the inside meat kept the inside meat, and then it made the outside meat disappear, if that makes sense. Raw Legacy Customs, I do have some onesie templates. I need to modify them, so I'm glad you said that. I have onesie templates, toddler templates, and youth templates that I need to put up. So Shay, oh, I'm glad that made sense to you, Shay. I got you. Yep. So that goes on my to-do list. And yeah, I really do. I probably have to let this computer calm down because Photoshop normally doesn't even take this long to open up. But oh, well, I have a few of you here. Y'all get a sneak peek on what's I'm uploading. I might upload it tonight. I don't know, because I am tired. Let's show you real quick. And then if I do happen to upload it tonight, then I'll let it stay open just a little while longer. So what we did was the graduation template. If y'all remember the graduation template we played with, I'll pull that up. But I made that editable, not edible. Let's see. And when it merged it kind of funny. But I made a little video for y'all about how to use this template. So this template will be available tomorrow. If I have some energy, I might put it up tonight, because I need to check. I'm sure some of you ordered the template from today, so I want to go ahead and send that out to you just in case you want to be like me and stay up all night tinkering with projects. But I do want to also encourage you, while I have y'all on, where I have a little bit of attention, get you an external hard drive and put these big old files on the external hard drive. I have one, and then what I have to do is I have to periodically move my files, because I'll keep building them up, especially now that I'm making templates. And I have a backup, like Google Drive backs up my files, and then I also have an external hard drive where I pull and save my images. So yeah, this is one of the templates that we started yesterday. I just did a modification for it, and I even showed y'all a shortcut how you could take a template. Like if you bought the template today, the one with the grid grunge, that's just the grid grunge on top of the graduation template. So you can combine and mix and match and make your own designs. Like, I really want y'all to understand the power that you have once you have a few elements. Like, rock those elements. I know I'm kind of teaching you not to buy every template and to create your own, but the whole point of me being here is really to help you, and it helps me too. Helps me teach you. It helps me understand what tools you need and what resources you need to to be successful in this thing. So that's one. And then I have, Lord, let's see, I did one with Harley Quinn. And I just wanted to show you how it does, like, if you see a graduation design, it doesn't mean it is like only a graduation design. Like, I want you to think outside the box as far as just look at the elements. Just like we did today, we looked at foreground, background, the accent elements, and the text. And from there, you can make it a birthday shirt, a graduation shirt, a remembrance shirt, any of those things. So, alright, my computer's about to get pissed off at me. Hold on. I won't save any changes just in case. But yeah, so you'll recognize that image was from the template that you did earlier. So, boom, boom, boom. Yep, okay, Shay. So I definitely need to put the youth shirt templates up. And yeah, I'm glad you learned about making your own clouds with a paintbrush. I do have a set of brushes that is on my DIY section of the website, and a lot of the brushes that I use are on there. The lightning, clouds, paint splashes. I can't even describe them all right now. Quite a few different style brushes, but that's what really makes the design stand out, when you can play with those brushes, because then you don't have to have just straight edges. You can cut off your pictures with brushes. You can make brushes be your border. You don't have to have, you know, clean edge borders. You play with those brushes, you end up with a whole nother design every time you play with the brushes. And oh, there it is. I don't know if you see these little thumbnails there, but that's the senior shirt. I modified it for a Harley Quinn, and then I modified it again for another senior, just to show you how quick you can change those out. So I'll be uploading that video. I won't upload it tonight because y'all need to go to sleep. I'll upload it tomorrow for you. But yeah, so that's the Birds of Prey. And I showed you how to use just a few changes. This is literally a gradient change, a little bit of a color change, and I did rough cuts around the image instead of trying to do the real contour cut. Okay, well, I see y'all hanging on with me, but I'm gonna have to let you go. I appreciate y'all so much, and if there's something that you'd like to see me do, or have questions about the video, definitely comment on the actual video. So wait until it posts and then comment on there. That way other people can see it as well. If you're not already a part of the Innate Creatives Facebook group, join us there. It's a private group where we, you get heads up about these templates. You get, sometimes we're able to help one another with issues that we have in Photoshop. And basically, we have our own little thing going on there. So definitely join us there. Good night, good night, good night, y'all. Love you. Peace, peace, peace. Y'all have a good one.